Good afternoon. It's been a while. This is Chris Stone with Yellow Rock Farms. Earlier video I talked about what we use this thing for. This is called a TMR mixer. TMR stands for Total Mixed Ration. So since last we spoke, we've weaned our calves, and the calves have been on grass since October, and we're running a little bit. It's getting into the grazing season for calves, and so what we do that first winter that they're here is we feed them haylage, what is called haylage, what we put up in the springtime. It's grass that's been wrapped up in bales. You can see all those marshmallows sitting out there. We're going to mix some of those up in this thing and then put a few things in that to balance out the ration. I'll talk a little bit about that and what that means. But that's what we're going to do here this afternoon. We're going to mix up some feed for these calves. Okay, up here at the TMR mixer, what's going on inside? There's an auger inside that turns, and the auger has knives on it that cut the forage as it's being mixed, because this forage, what we're feeding them is a mixture of winter wheat, winter peas, and winter oats. The forage, not the grain part. And that forage was probably 3 foot tall when I mowed it, and so it's real long. And so what we're doing is we're cutting it up into smaller pieces so it's easier for them to eat, and to make sure that it's blended and equally mixed, because again, this is a TMR, a total mixed ration. So you want, ultimately, you want every bite to be the same throughout the mix. So I'm going to take these bales, I'm going to cut them open, and we're going to dump them in here and make a lot of noise. So we put those 2 bales in, we cut the net wrap off of them. Now we're going to grind them up. You can see how long the grass is, how long the forage is. We're going to cut that up into small pieces. While that mixer's mixing or grinding that hay up, there's a couple additives we have to put in the feed, and that's what I'm doing here. We have a scale and a bucket, and then this stuff, that is yeast. It's a yeast supplement, brewer's yeast, same yeast that's in beer, same yeast that's in bread. And what that does is that helps those calves develop their rumen, which is the stomach, the part of their digestive system that processes roughage, grasses. A cow has 4 stomachs. It's called a ruminant. The largest of the 4 stomachs is called the rumen, and that's essentially a fermentation tank inside the cow. And that fermentation tank utilizes bacteria, yeast, all kinds of stuff in a biome inside their gut, and that baby or that calf has to develop that gut biome in order to efficiently process grass and forages. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but we're going to look at this forage, and you can see how much smaller the pieces are. So it's cut that up into little pieces about yay long. That's about fine enough. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shut the PTO off on this tractor and then put the corn in, because we've got to get an accurate weight on the corn, and with this thing shaking and bouncing around, the scale kind of jumps too. So we're going to do that real quick. Here eating at the moment. They can come in here and eat, and then they go back out onto the paddock. We've still got grass hay or grass for them to pick out in the paddock, but they come in here to eat this TMR. And as the winter progresses, as there's less and less grass out there for them to pick, they'll come in here more and more and eat this. Very little corn in there. By weight, it's about 8%. By volume, it's a lot less than 8% corn. And that's how you feed calves, TMR.